on what he was going to do, bouncing the ball against the wall in the hallway. Well, he did more than bounce the ball in the hallway last year. It wasn't just a good year. It was sensational. His career has been sensational. The MVP of the National League, the Cy Young Award, ERA, those are silly numbers, 1.77. Of course, the no-hitter against the Rockies. And then you start to look at a lot of different things, including the fact that if I'm a hitter against Clayton Kershaw, I don't want to get 0-2. I'm going to see Uncle Charlie, probably the curveball. You know, in his career, he's given up one home run on a curveball during the regular season. So don't look for the hook if you're a hitter.
Clayton Kershaw, the MLB ERA champ, 4 consecutive years. Kershaw, John Danks, this afternoon's pitchers, Dodgers and White Sox getting ready to play. And live from Camelback Ranch in Glendale, Arizona, the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Chicago White Sox in the second game of the exhibition season. Of course, on Monday, April the 6th, the Dodgers and Padres open for real at Dodger Stadium. It could not be a more picture-perfect afternoon here in Glendale, Arizona. Game time temperature of 68 degrees. For those of you who are watching around the country, especially in the Midwest and the Northeast, you can't imagine how nice it is, and hopefully we'll keep you a little bit warmer on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. So it's the Dodgers and the White Sox, and here's the lineup the Dodgers have put together for this afternoon. Jock Peterson will be leading off in center field, and he'll be followed by Darwin Barney starting at shortstop. Yasiel Puig makes his debut this spring. In right field, hitting third, Scott Van Slyke at first base. Adrian Gonzalez started there yesterday. Justin Turner, coming off a great season a year ago, bats fifth at third base. A.J. Ellis is going to be dividing duties behind the plate with Yasmani Grandal, who started yesterday. Ellis is batting sixth. Kiki Hernandez, a second baseman, came over in the Marlin deal, batting seventh at second. Chris Heisey came over from Cincinnati, the designated hitter, hitting eighth. And Matt Carson, a minor league free agent signing, local boy from California, is batting ninth. They're going to be facing John Danks, the veteran left-hander. Danks is 29 years old and big left-hander. Born in Austin, grew up in Nashville, last year 11-11. But of course, the big story is Robin Ventura and Don Mattingly get acquainted with the umpires, Dan Bellino, Tony Randazzo, Lance Barrett, and Anthony Johnson. The big story is that Clayton Kershaw makes his first start of the new year.
Clayton Kershaw will go 2 innings. Don Mattingly and Rick Honeycutt, the pitching coach, have talked about in the early goings. Their starters will go 2 innings. So it's going to be a quick in and out, kind of a tune-up, but a lot of people are watching when you look at the best, and that would be Clayton Kershaw coming off another Cy Young Award, also the National League MVP award as well. Go back, you and I were talking as well as earlier on about we saw him in a hallway inside the clubhouse. About 9:15, 9:30 this morning. Just bouncing the ball up against the wall. Significant? No, not really. But even in spring training, he was rather pensive about, well, it's another day of work. But for Clayton Kershaw, it's more than just another day.
He was impatient, to be sure. He just felt like he had to get the juices flowing, and indeed he did. Then, of course, he came out to the field here at Camelback Ranch, started running around, and he's getting ready to go. John Danks making the start for the White Sox. Danks came up in 2007, a career 72-85 record, and the ERA of about 4 1/4. Last year, 11 up, 11 down, and opponents hit .269 against him.
Yeah, not a hard throw. He's going to mix in the breaking ball as well. He can be a workhorse at time when he is healthy. And for Danks just trying to keep men off of the base pass. I think the story really, Charlie, for the Dodgers is, again, going back to yesterday's ball game. And yes, it was just 9 innings, and the White Sox won the game technically. The Dodgers played the game well from a fundamental standpoint, and that's really the rule of thought in spring. Are the players being aggressive? Are they being thoughtful of the fundamentals, and are they executing those fundamentals? Yesterday, a very loud yes was the answer in the analysis of a lot of the coaches.
Yeah, in spring training, it's the old cliche, but it's really true, especially for a team that's expected to contend, and certainly the Dodgers are, as Jock Peterson makes his way towards the batter's box. It's not whether you win or lose, but how you play the game, and the Dodgers played it pretty well yesterday. So did Jock Peterson. Peterson with a couple of hits, and of course a lot is expected of this kid who is still officially a rookie. We saw him in spring training in March. We saw him in September where he struggled, but at AAA last year, 33 home runs, 78 RBIs. Dank's first pitch of the day is low and inside, 1 ball and no strikes. So it'll be Peterson and Barney and Puig to bat. Again, it couldn't be a more perfect afternoon, and by the weekend the temperatures will be in the 80s here, and Jock Peterson whacks one into right field for a base hit. So Peterson, who wants to make a statement here this spring, and again, the center field job has not been awarded to him, but the expectation is that he is going to be the kid.
And one of the hits that he had yesterday also came against a left-handed pitcher, and he had made some adjustments yesterday and stays right on this ball, and he's got to stay in that right shoulder a little bit longer, and that's what he's doing so far.
Darwin Barney, one of the best fielding second basemen in the game, actually played collegiately at shortstop, and Barney starting at short today. Came over to the Dodgers middle of last year, 241 with 3 home runs and 23 runs batted in. Puig on deck, Van Slyke to follow. Danks, the big left-hander, stands on the third base side of the rubber. Outfield plays Barney the other way, and Peterson, who has good speed, is back standing up. Dodgers a split squad tomorrow. We'll be back with you at 11:30 in the morning LA time on the radio. First pitch 12:05. Radio and television will be simulcast again. Barney takes up and in, 2 balls and no strikes. We will be covering the Dodgers and the Mariners here from Camelback Ranch, and the Dodgers other half of the team will be over in Maryvale facing the Milwaukee Brewers, and Julio Urias will be pitching over there. 2 balls, no strikes. Barney takes a strike, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, Don Mattingly saying earlier today he will stay with the club and be here. His coaching staff will take the other part and go over. So it's going to be a full day of work, and just looking again at each of the dugouts. Dodgers third base dugout, and for the White Sox first base dugout, they've got plenty of players to play in this one today.
Quick toss to first base. Peterson back standing up, being held on by Jose Abreu. First base umpire saw Tony Randazzo, and there's the Dodger bench. For those of you watching on television, the Dodger bench continues to exist, even if you're listening on the radio. So do the White Sox on the first base side. Here's the 2-1. Inside and low, 3-1 to Darwin Barney, right-handed hitter.
You know, the benches with all the players, I think it's a very good maneuver for the coaching staff and for management to have as many players as you can. Get them into the swing of things. The minor leaguers, all of them have not reported as of yet, but there's some other non-roster players, one of which in the ball game today, Matt Carson.
And there's a liner into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Peterson rounding second. He's on his way to third. Barney is on his way to second base, and the throw, and he is safe. Head first slide to the shortstop side of the bag, narrowly avoiding the tag of Micah Johnson. The Dodgers have second and third, and nobody out.
For Darwin Barney, that play is in front of him. The play to left field as he rounds first base. He did a good job, first of all, in handling the pitch. Got around on it very well. Then he makes the decision. A good play also by Cabrera. But watch the slide at second base for those looking at the monitor. And it was not particularly well caught by Johnson, who had his back to the base runner. But he did not go to the bag immediately. He was looking for the runner.
And as you mentioned, Barney had the play in front of him, so he's able to slide on the shortstop side of the bag to avoid the tag. And the Dodgers are in business, second and third, nobody out. And here is Yasiel Puig. His first at bat of the spring, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Of course, Puig, one of the biggest stars in the game already. He's on the cover of just about everything. 296 last year, 16 home runs, 69 runs batted in. Second half of the season, he began to slow up a bit, and he takes a strike. That is 0-2.
And to slow up, I think pitchers began to compare notes. Ball clubs were having their advanced scouts look at Yasiel Puig, who was held very quiet in that series, an actually championship series against the St. Louis Cardinals.
No balls, 2 strikes. Puig, big rip, fouls it back to the screen.
And Charlie, I think that series and maybe even more motivation for Yasiel Puig, because the Cardinals had figured out how to pitch to him. He just 195 in that series, 8 hits and 41 at bats. Did not play the final game because of an injury.
And now Danks delivers, and Puig grounds one foul up the third baseline. Scott Van Slyke on deck.
Younger players learn that, they don't throw you the same thing all the time. They keep charts. They keep track of what's going on. I've always felt that pitchers have a closer fraternity to compare notes about hitters than what hitters do to learn about pitchers.
Second and third, 0-2 to Puig. Danks delivers up and in. That is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, spring training, but 0-2, up and in. Not really chin music, but if you're going to get in the swing of things very quickly as a pitcher, yeah, move the guy off the plate a little bit more. Up and in. Now does he go dead fish away? 1-2. We'll find out.
Danks, left-hander, set at the belt. Here's the pitch. Foul back and out of play, off to our right.
Yeah, and that's what it was. Something off speed. When does spring training turn into real time? Well, it depends upon who's pitching. Danks has already shown he's in real time. There's 1-2. After coming inside 0-2, and it comes back with a dead fish pitch, fouled off. Good job fouling it off by Yasiel.
On 1-2, Danks delivers, ground ball right side, right at Micah Johnson. He'll throw out Puig, but in to score is Peterson. A good at bat, an RBI for Puig, and the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead.
And I think a good message also by Yasiel Puig. Behind in the count 1-2, you got second and third, nobody out, first inning. Shorten up on the swing, and he gets the run across, and they're going to greet him in the dugout exactly the way they should. Oh, spring training, yes, but a loud message.
And besides scoring Peterson, Barney goes from second to third. So a productive at bat for Puig. Van Slyke with a fly ball into short right field, where Trace Thompson is there to make the catch. Barney can only go about halfway. The throw comes in. Van Slyke with an unproductive at bat. There's 2 gone.
Yeah, first pitch thrown to him in his first at bat in spring training. And those are the I noticed earlier in the ball game, even before the game got underway, that Van Slyke was having a long conversation with Mark McGwire, the hitting coach. Well, there may be another conversation between those 2 gentlemen before the next at bat by Van Slyke.
I suspect it'll be a monologue from McGwire.
Well, it may be a listening session by Van Slyke.
Now here's Justin Turner. Had a career year last year, takes high and away, 1 ball and no strikes when he hit .340 for the Dodgers. He had 98 hits and 288 at-bats. He played all over the infield and was an extremely clutch hitter. Hit .344 with runners in scoring position, and he's had 2 balls and no strikes.
Very versatile man for this Dodger ball club because he could play so many different positions, and he played them well on top of it.
And a local fella. Born in Long Beach, lives in Bellflower. There's another one from Bellflower. The 2-0 is a little looper into short left field. Alexi Ramirez goes out and makes the catch and makes the play to end the inning. Melky Cabrera in left came running in, had no chance, and so it was only Ramirez who could make the play, and he did. 1 run, 2 hits for the Dodgers. They left 1-0 as Clayton Kershaw gets ready to work here in Arizona. Welcome you back to Camelback Ranch in Glendale. A picture perfect 68 degrees for this Thursday matinee, and you're looking at Clayton Kershaw, who will turn 27 2 weeks from today. Of course, the National League Cy Young Award winner and MVP, 3-time Cy Young Award winner, 3 times in the last 4 years.
Amazing numbers, and that earned run average 1.77. The innings walked. Remember, he missed 5 starts earlier on, but opposing batters hit below the Mendoza line again against Kershaw.
Micah Johnson will be leading it off for the White Sox, and the left-handed hitting second baseman takes a strike, and it's 0-1. It'll be Johnson, Emilio Bonifacio, and Jose Abreu. As Kershaw deals a fastball, a swing, and a miss, and quickly he's ahead 0-2. Johnson last year at AAA hit .275, AA .329, and Kershaw deals. Call, strike 3. 3 pitches, thank you, and good night.
Next.
You know, we talked about it as we watched Kershaw last year. It was really one of the great, not just pitching performances, great baseball performances of any guy in the last fill in the blank number of years. Did everything. He could hit. You know, he's made only 5 errors in his career. So defensively, he's terrific. Check swing, foul off to the right, out of play. Emilio Bonifacio is there.
What was remarkable about that pitch by Clayton Kershaw? Remember, he goes 0-2. Then A.J. Ellis doing the catch today. Sat on the outside corner. Where was the pitch? Right to the catcher's mitt. And this is his first outing, his first batter.
And the second batter, Bonifacio, pulled on a breaking ball, and it's 0-2.
Well, the curveball is kind of special and something I want to touch upon, because Clayton Kershaw in regular season now in his career kept track of found out how many curveballs he's thrown.
The 0-2. Ground ball solely hit to short. Darwin Barney picks it up. Sidearm sling. Bonifacio retired, 2 out, nobody.
So Uncle Charlie is a good pitch for Clayton Kershaw. Will end the regular season of his career. He's thrown 2,461 curveballs. He's allowed 1 home run in the regular season on a curveball. 1, and that was last year. And it was hit by Brandon Hicks. Of course, the one that really stung was the home run, the big blast by Matt Adams in St. Louis.
Now the hitter, Jose Abreu. And he takes high and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
But that curveball is something that's just really special. And again, you get 0-2 against Kershaw. When's the curveball coming? And is that a pitch you can really even look for to begin with?
Up and away to Abreu. 2 balls and no strikes.
And the answer is you can't really look for it. Biggest thing, too, is Kershaw has such big break to the curveball. A lot of hitters give up on it because they think initially it's too high.
Here's the 2-0. Loop down the right field line. Foul and out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jose Abreu. Abreu, Rookie of the Year. 6'3", 255 pounds. Turned 28 a couple of months ago. Lives in Miami now. And the 2-1. Fouled off to the right and out of play. 2-2.
Yeah, White Sox feel that they're going to have a much more enjoyable time than what they did last year. They went 73 and 89. Yeah, they are in competition also in the Battle of Chicago. The North Siders, the Cubs, well, they have made a great number of additions to their team. And the White Sox, they got some new faces.
A lot. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball strike 3. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Ain't fair.
Not only is Uncle Charlie in attendance today, so too Lord Charles. Dodgers 1-0 as we go to the 7th. Outs, and the White Sox fail to get the ball out of the infield. So he's in midseason form as we go to the 2nd inning, and A.J. Ellis leading it off, and A.J. takes inside and high. 1 ball and no strikes. For Ellis, it was a tale of 2 seasons last year, despite the 191 average. Of course, he began the year having had arthroscopic surgery on the left knee, then he sprained his right ankle. And by the time September rolled around and into the postseason, Ellis was at his best offensively. He'll be dividing time behind the plate this year with Yasmani Grandal, and Ellis whacks 1 foul down the right field line. The count is 1-2.
Yeah, A.J. adds so much on and off the field and behind the plate. Going to be interesting as spring training just really unfolds. Who is going to be doing the catching? It will be a bulk of the catching with Grandal. A.J. Ellis is going to be in the fold as well.
1-2 is inside and low. 2-2 to A.J. Ellis.
Mattingly was asked this morning and said, well, will Grandal be catching Clayton Kershaw in spring training at times? And Don just answered, yeah, why not? Yeah.
Here's a 2-2. Fly ball, left field. Retreating a couple of steps and to his left. Melky Cabrera makes the catch. Ellis is retired first out of the 2nd inning. Now here's Kiki Hernandez coming up. Hernandez came over in that big deal with the Marlins that sent Dan Herron and D. Gordon. down to Miami. Utility player, you play everywhere. And he takes a ball under the knees, 1 ball and no strikes. So the Dodgers with a lot of moves in the offseason and a lot of moves to be made between now and April the 6th. Of the 40-man roster for the Dodgers, 19 are new. Here's the 2-0. Ground ball to short, right at the slick fielding. Alexi Ramirez throws a strike onto Abreu. There's 2 out.
Yeah, both dugouts have some new faces. The Dodgers 19 out of 40, and for the White Sox 20 out of 40 are new faces.
And another new face stepping into the batter's box for the Dodgers, Chris Heisey. Came over in a trade with Cincinnati in December.
Yeah, Heisey is a spray hitter. He hit the ball all over the place. Makes contact.
Takes a strike. And it's 0-1. Heisey's been a very good pinch hitter over the course of his career. Pennsylvania born and bred. Takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 6'1", 215. Came up with the Reds in the 2010 season. And the 1-1. Swing. Miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Chris Heisey. The Dodgers with a 1-0 lead. RBI fielder's choice off the bat of Yasiel Puig in the top half of the first, and Kershaw was letter perfect in the bottom of the first. The 1-2, Heisey foul tips it and stays alive.
Yeah, for Heisey, if you look at his numbers, 222 last year as far as the average goes, but it can be misleading. 275 at bats, and as you mentioned, a lot of those were pinch hitting, but he does have some power. You know, fewer than 300 at bats, 8 home runs, knocked in 22, and he does have a little bit of speed.
Outside and low, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and a very good defender.
Yeah, his speed is kind of surprising speed. It's not that blazing. You say, hey, look out, this guy can run, but he stole 9 out of 11 attempts.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Heisey fouls it off to the right and out of play.
And Heisey just showed what a lot of hitters are going to be doing the first couple of days, jamming themselves. That was a ball on the inner third of the plate, but he jammed himself. Trying to get the timing. Muscle memory, not there yet.
Here's a 2-2 on the way, and a looper into center field, now drifting back into his left. Bonifacio there to make the catch. The Dodgers have been retired in order. 0 across. We go to the bottom of the second. Kershaw to be facing Cabrera, Ramirez, and Gillespie. Dodgers 1-0. Stadium. The Giants come to town at 7:10, and the first 40,000 fans in attendance receive a Clayton Kershaw themed fleece blanket, compliments of security benefit. Sure you stay warm at the stadium and at home Visit Dodgers.com/promotions. No need for a fleece blanket today, just plenty of suntan lotion. Melky Cabrera, his first year with the White Sox. Kershaw's first pitch is a call strike, and it's 0-1. Kershaw has thrown 12 pitches so far, 10 for strikes. He struck out 2 of the first 3 batters he faced in the first. And Cabrera, slow roller, right back to Kershaw, who won the Gold Glove back in 2011. It's easy work of Cabrera, 4 up, 4 down for Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah, don't need those blankets here this afternoon. The temperature tickling 70 degrees. However, you need a few of them in Chicago. It's 18 degrees in Chicago, and tonight it's going down to 7.
And they've got a heavy snowstorm going on the East Coast, all the way up the Atlantic. And here it couldn't be any nicer. Alexi Ramirez steps in. Kershaw deals, and Ramirez swings and misses, and it's 0-1. Connor Gillespie is on deck. Justin Turner playing about 15 feet off the line at third base. The outfield is straight away. The 0-1 is low on the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Alexi Ramirez. Ramirez, now 33 years of age, rolls it harmlessly to Darwin Barney, throws across to Van Slyke, 2 out. So far, it's been a mismatch, Kershaw and the White Sox.
First broken bat that we had seen this spring. Clayton Kershaw is not really that friendly to pieces of wood when he is on. I made a comment to you after he struck out Jose Abreu with a curveball. I mean, curveball deluxe to end that first inning. I made a comment to you about what he should have done.
Connor Gillespie takes a strike.
Because I made a comment to you. I said, you know what you do when you get struck out like that with that curveball at the end of the inning? You said, no. I said, you charge the mound.
And Gillespie takes inside.
Watching Kershaw warm up in between innings, and he was actually doing something. You see in bullpens a lot. He was moving A.J. Ellis inside and outside, left edge and the right edge of the plate. So even warming up, he's really practicing what he's going to throw.
Gillespie, left-handed hitter, is jelly-legged by a breaking ball that was deemed unfair by most. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
From nose to toes, and a little bit of a flinch by Gillespie. He's not the first. He won't be the last.
The 1-2 swung on and missed. Strike 3. That ends the inning.
Charge the mound.
Kershaw just letter perfect in his 2 innings of work. 3 strikeouts. White Sox again get the ball out of the infield. 1-0 Dodgers. We go to the 3rd. Kershaw, who could not have been any better in his 2 innings of work this afternoon, retiring all 6 batters he faced, struck out 3 and 3 infield groundouts. So Kershaw, first start, letter perfect. John Danks is done, and so there's a new pitcher for the White Sox, Jake Petrichka. Danks went 2 innings, 1 run, 2 hits, 32 pitches, 20 for strikes. Petrichka in 67 outings last year, an ERA of under 3, and opponents hit just a shade over 250. Matt Carson is the batter, looking to hang on with the Dodgers, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. So the White Sox pitching change brought to you by In-N-Out Burger, fresh cut fries from real potatoes. Petrichka delivers. Pitch down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shakes made with real ice cream, fresh toasted buns, and pure beef patties. In and out, that's what freshness is all about. Why not stop in after a game? The 1-1. Carson swings. Foul tips it. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Petrichka throws hard. He's been clocked right around 100 miles an hour, but really fell into that hole that it's a wonderful thing to have in your arsenal, but he relied upon it too much. It became rather predictable.
Here's the 1-2. Carson takes inside and low, 2-2.
So like most pitchers, just coming up with other things. A slider has worked for him. Good changeup. It's still a work in progress. But if you can get that changeup over and you're lighting up the radar guns in the mid to upper 90s, you really got something.
Here's the 2-2. Carson, fly ball, slicing foul and out of play down the right field line. Matt Carson, he's no spring chicken. 33, born in Newport Beach and lives in Temecula. Has been up and down with the A's and the Twins and the Indians. Last year spent all of the season in Columbus, where he hit .259. 6'2", 200. He swings and just does get a piece of it. Carson went to BYU. Turned pro in 2002. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball down and away. Carson is done. First out of the 3rd. And now here's Jock Peterson making his way toward the batter's box. 3 for 3 so far this spring.
Peterson, when he came up last year at the end of the season, obviously there was the marquee value of what he had done at the minor league level. Interesting swing that he has. Has a leg kick to begin with. And when he came up last year, the leg kick, he did not get the right foot back down on the ground soon enough at times.
Peterson, left-handed hitter, takes inside and low. 1 ball and no strike.
And against left-handers, pointed out yesterday that he was actually falling back away on his right heel against a lefty the first pitch, but he made the adjustment, went up the middle of base, hit second.
The 1-0 is a ground ball up the first baseline, fielded by Abreu about 10 feet behind the bag, and a foot fair jogs to the bag. Peterson is retired. There's 2 outs.
For Peterson, he knows that the center field position basically is there for the taking. What does he have to do? There's a leg kick for those that are watching it, and that stride a little bit elongated on that particular swing.
So 2 out, nobody on, and Darwin Barney coming. Barney with a double in his first at-bat. Starting at shortstop this afternoon. That's where he played collegiately, but has turned out to be one of the premier defensive second basemen in the game.
Good pickup last year because he adds versatility. Can play all over the place. If you look at second base last year, D. Gordon in the first half was sensational.
And for Gordon, it was really a tale of 2 halves.
And it was somewhat absent second half, and I think the range diminished. I think he also learned is that, hey, look, this is a grind. 162 games. That second half is really difficult.
The 2-0 to Barney. There's a strike, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Really, Barney's acquisition, it was a little surprising to a lot of teams that he was available to come over, and he fit in very nicely with his Dodger ball club.
The 2-1 to Barney, right-handed hitter. He went to Oregon State, lives in Oregon to this day. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Career .246 hitter. Re-signed with the Dodgers in the offseason. Now the 2-2 on the way. Low and outside, 3-2.
They have those infielders, the floaters, if you will. And by floaters, I'm talking about can show the versatility, play at second, short, also can play at third base. They had him in the outfield for a couple of games. Those were kind of emergency situations.
Gold Glove winner in 2012. Here's the pitch. Low and outside, ball 4. So Barney works out a walk. He's been on base in both of his plate appearances, and Yasiel Puig is on his way. There haven't been very many players in the past year and a half who have been written about more than Puig. But there is a sense in the clubhouse, on the backfields, that Puig has taken his foot off the accelerator a bit. He has blended in very nicely this spring, and a high chopper to short, and Ramirez underhanded flip to second. Johnson there. The inning is over. Puig is retired. No runs, no hits, a walk, and a man left after 2.5. It's the Dodgers 1 and the White Sox 9. Two innings thrown by Clayton Kershaw. For Brandon League a year ago, 2-3, an ERA of .257. He's been in the majors 11 years, came up with Toronto in 2004. Then it was on to Seattle. And he has been with the Dodgers 2.5 years and really had a solid season. Struggled early, but then by May, he really settled in and turned out to be one of the more dependable relievers for the Dodgers.
As we think back last year at this time, the Dodgers came into camp with 4 guys experienced as the closers.
And at the moment, 3 of the 4 is gone. And of course, Kenley Jensen, he's on the disabled list with having had a growth removed from his foot. And they haven't really even circled a day when he might return. Giovanni Soto. Cubs, Rangers, now the White Sox. The early catcher takes inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And so the pitching change. Brandon League in for Clayton Kershaw, brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. There's fresh and there's In-N-Out Burger fresh. Now the 1-1 to Soto on the way. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Always the highest quality ingredients, always made to order, never compromise. At In-N-Out, that's what a hamburger is all about. Why not stop in after the game? So Brandon League, of which much is expected this year. Big turnover in the Dodger bullpen, swing and a miss, and Soto overmatched. That's the first out of the third inning.
Brandon Lee, good stuff. There has never been a question about that. And the reason is because he gets so much movement on his pitches. Yes, he has velocity, but he throws a heavy ball. I think the Dodgers finally convinced him is that, hey, look, you see the reaction of hitters? They don't like hitting against you.
So now, Michael Taylor takes a ball inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Taylor 6'5", 255. He's 29, from Florida. Came up with the Phillies. It was a 5th-round pick in 2007 with Philadelphia. 1 ball, no strikes. League misses outside and low. And it's 2 balls, no strikes.
I remember something that Kenny Howell, the Dodgers assistant pitching coach, told me during the season, and one way that they were getting to Brandon Lee. They said, look, a lot of guys try and throw to the corners of the plate. Don't you try and do it. And there was a good reason for that comment.
On 2-0, League to Taylor. Pitch on the way is a looper right to the shortstop, Darwin Barney. Chopper off the plate. It took a while to come out of the sky. Makes the plate. Taylor's thrown out. 2 out.
Okay, so follows through is that the comment was made, look, a lot of guys throw to the corners of the plate. Don't you try and throw to the corners. And the reason is because Kenny Howell was pointing out, look, you got so much movement on your ball. If you're trying to be exact and throw the outside corner, for example, to a right-handed batter, you really have to throw it off the plate way outside and come back. Try and throw it somewhere. Break it down into a third and third and third of the plate. Go for there. Don't go for the outside corners all the time.
Trace Thompson steps in, right-handed hitter, takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
And the reason they wanted to do that was, look, let's have a larger plane that the ball can find the plate.
Dodgers with a 1-0 lead, 2 out in the bottom half of the third. League delivers outside and low. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Thompson's an LA product. Lives in Ladera Ranch now. Went to Santa Margarita Catholic High. Graduated in 2009. League misses way outside. Kicks past A.J. Ellis to the backstop and then ricochets right back into the glove of League. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Thompson played in Birmingham last year, where he hit .237. Well, he's got a brother, Clay Thompson. Yep, that one from the Warriors. And a looper into short center field. Sprinting in is Peterson. Makes the catch. And League retires the White Sox in order. Nothing across. We'll go to the 4th. Van Slyke, Turner, and Ellis coming up. And the Dodgers have a 1-0 lead. in Arizona, especially on a day like this, 68 degrees. For those of you who are watching on TV, you get a sense of how magnificent it is, and on the radio we can only try to share that vision with you as Javi Guerra takes over for the White Sox, the one-time Dodgers. Hard to believe, 10 years ago he was a fourth-round pick for the Dodgers. Last year with the White Sox, an ERA of under 3, and opposing hitters were held to a 2.46 average. And so he will be facing Scott Van Slyke. Van Slyke saw one pitch in his first at-bat and flied to right, starting at first base. And he has seen one pitch in his second at-bat with a routine fly ball to left. And making the catch is Melky Cabrera. So Van Slyke, 2 pitches, he's flied to right, he's flied to left.
Very short times at home plate.
Here comes Justin Turner, who popped to short in his first at-bat. Turner spent nearly every day at Dodger Stadium this year. He's an LA product, and he was working out and getting in shape. And so he is in great shape coming into this season, coming off the best year of his career when he hit .340. He takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Dodgers with a 1-0 lead. Puig with an RBI, fielder's choice in the first inning after Peterson singled and Barney doubled. Turner takes outside, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out in the top half of the 4th. Of course, the Dodgers and the White Sox share this terrific facility in Glendale, now 7 years old. Turner lines one right into the glove of Ramirez, nearly knocked him over. Turner hit it right on the screw. Lined out, there's 2 out.
Justin Turner was not fooled at all, and Alexei Ramirez maybe having trouble picking the ball up out of the shirt sleeve crowd, but he's going to be very fortunate that ball was not hit directly at him, slightly off to the side, and winds up knocking him to the outfield grass.
2 out, nobody on, and A.J. Ellis coming up. Ramirez, 33-year-old veteran shortstop. Now A.J. Ellis steps in, and Guerra deals a fastball for a strike, and it's 0-1. Guerra's always been able to throw hard. Out of Denton, Texas. White Sox picked him up off waivers last March. Outside and low, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Guerra came up with the Dodgers in 2011. And in 47 relief appearances, his ERA was 2 1/3. Here comes the 1-1. And a looping line drive into left field, but there is Melky Cabrera to make the catch. And that will end the inning. Nothing across for the Dodgers after 3.5. Dodgers 1 and the White Sox 0. Day at Dodger Stadium. Many plans still available that include opening day, all 10 bobbleheads, fireworks nights, the 4th of July, a Father's Day barbecue set, a Tommy Lasorda garden gnome, and how can you live without one? And many more great promotions. You won't want to miss this summer. Visit Dodgers.com/mini plans.
Tommy is here. He is in uniform and in the third base dugout.
And there is also a large bobblehead of Tommy Lasorda outside the ballpark. It is enormous. So, I don't know what kind of material it is, but it is larger than life, much like Tommy for that. So here is Micah Johnson hitting against Chris Hatcher. Hatcher, by the way, of course, came over from the Marlins, and like Kenley Jansen, once upon a time, not so long ago, is a catcher.
Yeah, 5 years a catcher. We talked earlier about Clayton Kershaw and the curveball, and he displayed the curveball and why it's so difficult to hit. Well, Chris Hatcher had difficulty trying to hit the curveball.
He delivers a fastball upstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. A 7-player trade with the Marlins, and Hatcher was one of the centerpieces. Fouled off to the left and out of play. Micah Johnson, left-handed hitting second baseman, took a called 3rd strike against Kershaw. If you're just joining us, Clayton went 2 innings today. White Sox couldn't get the ball out of the infield. He struck out 3, 20 pitches, 16 for strikes. And his curveball was mid-season form. Bonifacio on deck, Abreu to follow, and down on strikes, a swing and a miss. Micah Johnson retired by Chris Hatcher. Hatcher 6'1", 200, out of North Carolina. Now lives in Council Bluffs, Iowa.
And part of a really a little bit of a history, because he became the first player in over 75 years to make his big league debut as a catcher 1 year and come back the following season as a pitcher. Back to 1935. Art Dahl of the Boston Braves.
Bonifacio, the batter, takes a strike, 0-1. And of course, Kenley Jansen was the catcher for the Netherlands team in the World Baseball Classic back in 2009. Hatcher, this is high and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jansen in a walking boot, spending a lot of his time in the weight room this spring. Can't put any pressure on his foot as yet. The 1-1 is inside and low. 2-1. They discovered a growth bottom part of his foot. So nobody saw that one. They had to perform some delicate surgery. And now it's just a matter of recuperating as quickly as possible. Here's the 2-1. Hatcher delivers a swing and a foul tip off the bat of Bonifacio. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Bottom half of the 4th. Dodgers with a 1-0 lead.
Bullpen depth of the Dodgers. Kenley Jansen is there, so who's going to stand tall? We mentioned last year they had 4 different guys that had been closers at some point in time in their big league career. Well, it did not really work out very well. So there is a open call. Someone to say, look, it's my job.
Here's a 2-2 inside and high, 3-2, and it's not necessarily written in stone that there's going to be a 9th inning closer per se. This is going to be a mix and match open audition, it would appear, for the Dodger bullpen this year. Hatcher certainly part of the mix. A 3-2 ground ball slowly hit to second base. Nice easy play for Kiki Hernandez on the second hop. Throws out Bonifacio, 2 outs. So Dodger pitching now has retired all 11 White Sox hitters. Jose Abreu, the big slugger, wears number 79 on his jersey. Why? Because his mother picked his number out when he was playing in Cuba. Mother knows best, and he's wearing the number with the White Sox. Struck out, took a called 3rd strike in his first at-bat. Hatcher misses outside and low, 1 ball, no strike.
A lot of guys trying to get the ball in on the hands of Abreu. They think they can get it in there and get it by him. If you miss by an inch, he won't miss.
There's a line drive base hit into center field, as you were saying.
That may have been a breaking ball, but it was there and said hit me, and that's exactly what Abreu did. Gets around very good on that inside fastball there on good side heat. Very seldom is he fooled. Indeed, a breaking ball and at a particularly great location from a pitcher's standpoint. Great location for a hitter.
It hung like Tom Dooley. So Abreu is at first base, and Melky Cabrera is coming. And a pinch hitter, or I'm sorry, a pinch runner for Abreu. As Hatcher delivers to the switch hitting Melky Cabrera, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Darrell Boston is the first base coach for the White Sox, and Super Joe McEwen is a third base coach. Courtney Hawkins pinch running. We saw him yesterday. No balls and 1 strike. Hatcher from the belt, and Cabrera 1 hop to short, bobbled by Barney, picks it up and has nowhere to go with it. There was more English on that ball than the plea. And it kind of handcuffed Barney, one of the great defensive players in the game. And once he dropped it, he had no chance to get Cabrera. So now the White Sox have first and second with 2 outs.
That ball took kind of a funny hop to begin with. The White Sox trying to get the tying run. I want to remind you that for every Dodger home run this year, Daniels Jewelers family donates $1,000 to local children's charities. Over $500,000 have been donated over the last 4 seasons. Good friends at Daniels Jewelers, making diamond dreams come true since 1948.
Now Alexi Ramirez with 2 on and 2 out. Dodgers a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 4th, and Hatcher delivers a strike, 0-1. So a 2-out single for Abreu. Courtney Hawkins with pinch run for him. He's at second base after Cabrera gets aboard on the error by Darwin Barton. 1 run, 2 hits, an error for the Dodgers. No runs, 1 hit for the White Sox. White Sox coming off a terrible year last year. 73-89. But they went out and did a lot of Christmas shopping this year to beef up the team. And
bad year last year, but oddly enough, it was better than 2013, where they won only 63 games.
So Jerry Reinsdorf, team president Kenny Williams, general manager Rick Hahn said enough. Now Ramirez swings and fouls it toward the Dodger dugout, and the count is 1-2. Dodgers in the third base dugout, the White Sox in the first base dugout. Robin Ventura, the manager of the White Sox, and Mark Parent, the bench coach.
The large bench coach.
He's not a parent, he's the whole family.
He is a human shadow. Yes, he is. One of the nice people. And thank goodness people that tall, that big, have nice demeanors.
Here comes the 1-2. Hatcher set at the belt, and Ramirez, high chopper down the third baseline, fielded by Hatcher, throws low and safe at first base, dug out by Van Slyke. Did a nice job on the low throw. And now suddenly, at 2 out, nobody on, the White Sox have the bases loaded, and Connor Gillespie coming up.
Nothing like having speed if you hit the ball off the plate or just in front of the plate where it's real hard. The ball bounces up into the air, and the only thing that Hatcher could do is wait for it to come down. Good job, by the way, as you mentioned, with Van Slyke, just keeping that ball from going past him, digging it out of the dirt. Not an easy play to make.
Tim Anderson is now going to pinch run for Hanley Ramirez, for Alexi Ramirez. Bases loaded, 2 out. And Gillespie struck out swinging against Kershaw in his first at-bat. Bases loaded, Hatcher deals. Strike on the outside corner. Letter high, and it's no balls, 1 strike. So a clean hit for Abreu, an error by Barney, and a Baltimore chop single has loaded the bases for the White Sox here in the bottom of the 4th. Dodgers nursing a 1-0 lead. Hatcher out of the stretch from the belt, delivers inside and low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Connor Gillespie, one-time Giant. Came up in 2008. And has been with the White Sox the past couple of seasons. Swinging a foul off to the left and out of play. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. We'll pause here 10 seconds for station identification on the Dodgers radio network. A beautiful day in Glendale, Arizona. Game time temperature 68 degrees. Not a cloud in the sky. Bases loaded, 2 out, bottom of the 4th. Dodgers a 1-0 lead. Hatcher on 1 and 2, and Gillespie fouls it back to the screen. Charlie Steiner, Rick Monday. We will be back with you tomorrow. Simulcast once again. On the radio side, we'll be on the air with the pregame at 11:30. High noon. Sportsnet LA, and first pitch about 5 after 12. The Mariners will be here, and David Huff will make his Dodger debut against Erasmo Ramirez. 1 and 2, 2 out, bases loaded. Courtney Hawkins at third, Melky Cabrera's at second, Tim Anderson is at first base. Giovanni Soto is on deck. Outfield straight away for Gillespie. Fastball away. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Big pitch right here. You don't want to go 3 and 2 and have the runners on the run.
Gillespie has a curious hobby. He's a storm chaser. Follows the paths of tornadoes. Better than the other way around, I suppose. And Gillespie takes inside 3 and 2.
So it's official. Being nuts is a hobby.
Well, he lives in the Midwest.
I tell you what, there's been a lot of storms this past year. My goodness.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. So the bases are loaded and the runners will be running. Hatcher set at the belt. Here comes the pitch, and Gillespie pops it up. Left side, Ellis giving chase and running out of room. About 5 rows back beyond the Dodger dugout. Oh, the runners return. White Sox won the opener yesterday 6-4. Now the 3-2 pitch on the way. Ground ball. Diving stab by Van Slyke from his knees. He throws to Hatcher covering at first to end the inning. Ground ball maybe 6 inches fair. And Van Slyke with a terrific play. Saving a couple of runs. Hatcher covering. No runs. 2 hits. 1 error. 3 left. Will go to the 5th. And the Dodgers with a 1-0 lead. White Sox. Daniel Webb made 57 appearances last year, ranking third on the White Sox in that category. Got a 6-5 record and an ERA of 3.99. Opposing hitters hit 238 against. His issue has been walks, 42 of them. Kiki Hernandez leads off for the Dodgers in the 5th against Daniel Webb. He delivers a strike, and it's 0-1. Hernandez, Heisey, and Matt Carson are due to bat. Hernandez bounced to short in his first at-bat. Dodgers with a 1-0 lead. Hernandez fouls it off to the right. The count is 0-2. It's Chevy Truck Month, where you can get great offers on the Silverado and the all-new Chevy Colorado, the 2015 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Chevy trucks. High-strength steel for high-strength dependability. Only at your SoCal Chevy dealer. Now Hernandez takes outside. And the count is 1-2. A very interesting inning. First time we got a chance to see Chris Hatcher. Retired the first 2 batters, Johnson and Bonifacio. And then he hung a breaking ball on Abreu. Ground ball to short. Now Kiki Hernandez will be thrown out by Tim Anderson, who's just been inserted into the game. He throws on to first base where Dan Black is at the receiving end, and Black has just been inserted into the game as well. So we're getting into the portion of our ball game. We're going to see some new people that we haven't seen much before. Point being about Hatcher, he got the first 2 batters. No sin in giving up a base hit to Abreu. Then the normally sure-fielding Darwin Barney made an error. Then a Baltimore chop. Anderson would beat it out. Bases loaded, 2 out. Connor Gillespie hit one down the first base line. Van Slyke made a terrific play. He would have been out of the inning. Hatcher would have been on 15 pitches had it not been for the error. He ended up throwing 28 pitches and did not get down after the error, and a few extra pitches he had to throw.
And much higher stress pitches were made after those 15, because then you're looking at runners just about every place.
So a nice job in his first outing with the Dodgers. Chris Heisey is the batter. And Heisey takes outside and low. 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 run, 2 hits, an error for the Dodgers. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the White Sox. We're in the top half of the 5th. Matt Carson is on deck. Webb delivers outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. What was interesting about yesterday's game and again today's game, and yes, it's spring training and we're 2 games into it, the pace of game issues have been a non-issue to this point. Here's a 3-1 outside, ball 4. Heisey works out a 1-out ball. Mattingly's office after the game yesterday. Freeland was in there having a really casual conversation. And then we brought up the pace of play thing, and nobody noticed anything. It was just another day at the office, and the game was moving right along.
To this point.
To this point. Alex Guerrero now is coming into the game, and he will pinch run for Chris Heisey. Guerrero's going to be an interesting story from now till the end of spring. He cannot be sent out by the Dodgers if he doesn't want to go, and he's already said he doesn't want to go. Ground ball to second base, where Johnson flips to Anderson, who flips on to Black, and a 1-2-3 double play. Carson is retired, so are the Dodgers. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 5th. White Sox 1. Dodgers 1. A new pitcher. Joe Whelan in San Diego last year. He's coming off arm injuries. But the Dodgers envision him as a potential starter down the road. A new catcher in Austin Barnes, and the Dodgers have made a boatload of changes, which we will attend to as soon as we can. First pitch of the inning is a ground ball to short. Giovanni Soto is thrown out by Darwin Barney. One pitch and 1 out.
Not only a boatload, a large boatload, they change. In fact, a luxury liner.
Well, Corey Seager is in the lineup.
He's at short. Buck Britton is at third.
As Whelan delivers a strike. And it's no balls and 1 strike.
So Jensen is at first. Sweeney is at second. Scott Schebler is now taken over in center field.
And Michael Taylor swings and misses, and it's 0-2. Scott Schebler is a guy we talked about yesterday, watched a lot in spring last year. And it's like he can hit some. And we'll be watching very closely. The shortstop, Corey Seager, on 0-2. Whelan delivers, and a fly ball into left center field. And the catch is made out there by Schebler. Peterson's days. Trace Thompson coming up. Mentioned in his last act, his brother has turned out to be quite the star in the NBA. Klay Thompson with the Warriors. No balls, 1 strike, 2 out. We're in the bottom half of the 5th. And Whelan is the 4th Dodger pitcher of the day, but the headline story of the day will be Clayton Kershaw and his 2 spotless innings of work. He struck out 3. White Sox couldn't get the ball out of the infield. 20 pitches, 16 for strikes. 2 out in the bottom of the 5th. Whelan delivers. Fastball, call, strike 3. So Whelan comes in and retires a side in order. Nothing across. We'll go to the 6th. Dodgers 1 and the White Sox 0. you've gotten into your car when the game began, you could have listened to the broadcast already at the Chumash Casino Resort, located in the beautiful Santa Barbara wine country, just 2 hours north of LA. With the increased pace of play, you get to Chumash Casino in 1 hour and 45.
Drive faster.
For more information, visit chumashcasino.com. Scott Schebler leads off in the 6th inning as Daniel Webb begins his 2nd inning of relief. And Schebler swings and misses, 0-2. Corey Seager is on deck. Schebler, left-handed hitter, big strong legs. The 0-2 is inside and low. New catcher for the White Sox, George Contreras. He's bounced around. So he replaces Giovanni Soto. Dodgers a run and a couple of hits. They came in the first. Schebler with a high chopper to second base. Retreating a step or two is Micah Johnson. Throws on to Dan Black, and that's the first out of the 6th. Here comes Corey Seager.
If you don't know Corey Seager, when you first meet him, people say, well, can he play shortstop? He's a tall guy. He's 6'4". Amazing numbers. You look at 349, 20 home runs. There's a young man with just fun to watch.
Takes a ball inside and low, 1 ball and no strikes.
I mentioned yesterday, we only saw him, I think, 1 at bat, but a very quiet approach to hitting. And by that, there's not a lot of wasted motion. He lets the ball come to him.
Takes a fastball up and away, 2 balls and no strikes.
And in order for a hitter to allow the ball to come into him, by that I'm talking about you're not jumping at the ball. You're not going off of the pitcher's motion. You have to be able to have great trust in the quickness of your hands to do that.
The 2-0 is way outside and high, 3 balls and no strikes.
As the old slumps begin, I think a lot of hitters, when you get jammed, say, oh, geez, I got to get it going a little bit quicker. You start getting it earlier and earlier, and then it turns into a lunge. Instead of staying back, let the hands work.
On 3-0, he takes a 4-pitch walk. Told the story yesterday about Corey Seager a couple of years ago, right after he had been drafted. We were up in Seattle. Head of the scouting department. And I was asking about his brother, Kyle Seager, who's turned into a terrific player in his own right. Signed a big deal. He's the goods. And I asked, well, tell me about, at that point, young Kyle Seager. He said, let me tell you about Kyle Seager. I was curious about Corey. He said, your Seager, referring to Corey, is better than our Seager. Well, we'll find out. Now, Okoye Dixon is the batter for the Dodgers. Hit a home run yesterday. Dixon last year spending time at Double-A. As Pop, 17 home runs, 73 runs batted in. He was playing some first base on the backfields this morning. The 0-1, grounded fair up the third baseline, headed toward the corner. Seager rounding second. He's on his way to third. Now he's going to be sent home by Lorenzo Bundy. And standing at second base, Okoye Dixon with a double, and the Dodgers take a 2-0 lead.
About with Corey Seager trusting his hands. That's exactly what Okoye Dixon has done. That ball looked like it was in on his hands right there, but able to get the hands through. Ball just barely stays fair. But that's a pretty good piece of hitting as well. Ball down and in. He got it. It stayed fair. The other thing that I like is if the Dodgers paying attention to the base runner and the base running itself.
Watching Seager, he runs very well.
Yeah, didn't have a whole lot of stolen bases, but Seager also got some help at home plate, whether to stand up or slide.
And that was from Kyle Jensen, who's now the hitter. So the Dodgers with a 2-0 lead. Okoye Dixon a home run yesterday and an RBI double here in the 6th inning. Jensen takes outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Jensen, right-handed hitter, not on the 40-man. Swings and misses. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Jensen out of Walnut Creek, Northern California. In New Orleans last year, 27 home runs, 92 runs batted, and he's 26. Big fella, 6'3" and 230. Right-handed hitter, throw to second base. Coming in behind the base runner, Dixon. Johnson receives the throw, but back easily was Dixon. Kyle Jensen came over, part of that big trade with the Marlins. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jensen loops one foul down the right field line. And the count is 2-2.
Yeah, Jensen, a big old boy, 6'3", listed at 250. Out of St. Mary's College.
Seven players involved in that trade that sent Herron and Gordon to the Marlins. Jensen, one of them, fouls it back. Chris Hatcher we saw today. Kiki Hernandez we saw today. Dodgers 2 runs and 3 base hits. Jensen tried to check a swing, went around, and he has been struck out. So that's the second out of the 6th inning. Buck Britton is coming up, and Robin Ventura's coming to get his young pitcher Webb. So he's done, and we're going to take a break. 2 out, runner at second base. In the top half of the 6th, Dodgers with a run in, leading it 2-0. And Jennings, ex of the Marlins, 47 appearances a year ago, an ERA of 1.34. 6'3", 210. From Berkeley originally, now lives in Palm Beach Gardens. 9th round pick of the Marlins back in 2008, and he was dealt over to the White Sox in the offseason. Pitchered by the name of Andre Rienzo. 2 out. Coy Dixon leading from second base, and the left-handed hitting Buck Britton takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
Well, Britton comes over to the Dodgers organization. He spent 7 years at the minor league level with the Orioles. He's hitting well at the minor leagues. 637 games at 280 average.
Not a lot of power. In 600 and some odd games, a total of 49 home runs. And he lost a fly ball to center field. Emilio Bonifacio tracks him down. That will end the inning. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left. And after 5.5, it's the Dodgers 2 and the White Sox nothing. At Dodger Stadium tomorrow between 9 and 6. Purchase an opening day mini plan and even take your picture with the 81 World Series trophy. It will also help you plan your next group outing to Dodger Stadium. Visit Dodgers.com/open house. 81 trophy.
You know what's really kind of nice about that is that the O'Malley family gave all of the players, coaches, and managers.
Joe Whelan pitching his second inning of relief for the Dodgers. First pitch to Micah Johnson, foul back, and it's 0-1.
A smaller trophy of the 81. So it's a downsize, and very proudly displayed in our home. Just a wonderful touch.
Now Johnson bunts it back to the box. Whelan throws over to first base. Kyle Jensen, left-handed thrower. Gives a throw, and he gets the first out of the 6th. Now Emilio Bonifacio. Bounced to short and bounced to second. Dodgers with a run in the 1st and a run in the 6th. White Sox had 3 base runners, and they left the bases loaded in the 4th inning, and outside of that, nothing. Kershaw 2 innings, perfect. League was perfect in his inning. Hatcher gave up a base hit, then an error, then an infield hit, so the White Sox threatened with the bases loaded. In the 4th, Connor Gillespie whistled one down the first base line, and Van Slyke made a diving play to rob Gillespie in the inning and preserve the shutout to this point. Bonifacio takes a strike on the outside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike. Courtney Hawkins is on deck. And the 3-1. Hard ground ball right at Jensen. Bobbles it. Now he's able to pick it up. Jog to the bag. And that will end. I'm sorry, that'll be the 2nd out of the inning. All ball was smoked off the bat of Bonifacio. Courtney Hawkins coming up. Played A ball last year, hit 249, 19 home runs. Dan Black is on deck. Whelan delivers. Fly ball. Short center field. Sprinting in. It's going to drop in front of Schebler for a base hit. Hit softly, not particularly high. And so Hawkins flips a single into center.
First pitch breaking ball, and Hawkins hit it just poorly enough. The big swing. It's always difficult for outfielders, and particularly I think too in center field. You see that big swing, you see the placement of the ball in the strike zone, and that's the area you're focusing in defensively, whether it's infield or outfield. You're not watching the ball from the pitcher's hand to the home plate. You're watching that strike zone area. You know about the time he's going to be releasing that ball, but you're looking at that strike zone.
Outfield deep and straight away for the left-handed hitting Dan Black, who takes low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Black 6'4", 255. Born in Indianapolis, lives down in Birmingham, Alabama. Went to school at Purdue. He takes a ball inside. 2 balls and no strikes. White Sox selected him in the 14th round of the 2009 player draft. Burly left-handed batter. A bit like Matt Adams of the Cardinals. Beard to boot. 2-1. Black staying in the batter's box, right on the outer edge as he was adjusting his batting glove. Quick toss over to first base. And back easily is Courtney Hawkins. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 out, bottom of the 6th, 2-0 Dodgers. Whelan set chest high. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul back to the screen. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dodgers prefer to live without the memory of Matt Adams. Kershaw took
3-run home run. Dodgers had that 2-0 lead with the 3-run blast in the 7th inning. NLCS.
And the pitch to Black is inside. And the count is 3-2. Tim Anderson is on deck. Now on 3-2. There goes the runner, and Black rolls it foul toward the first base dugout occupied by the White Sox. Flight home from St. Louis 148 days ago. Felt like we're heading to a funeral. It was as down and downcast a plane ride as you can imagine. Here's the 3-2 to Black. Inside, ball 4. In some sports, you've got sudden deaths. It was so unexpected the way it all came down. Everybody to a man going into game 4 thought, okay, well, here's Kershaw. Got the Cardinals. Go home, game 5, and move on. And it just didn't happen. Now Tim Anderson with 2 on and 2 out. And Anderson takes a breaking ball low. 1 ball, no strikes. Each team with 3 hits. Dodgers lead 2-0. Whelan set at the chest, and here comes the pitch. Anderson takes a strike. And his 1-1.
Big pitch right there, because now it goes 1-1 instead of being 2-0. He's had to labor now after getting the first 2 outs.
Had retired the first 5 batters he faced. Now the 1-1 on the way. Fouled into the dirt, and the count is 1-2.
And Wheeler got some help there. That may have been ball 2. He's down low, but Anderson fouls it off.
Wheeland out of Reno. He came up in the Kemp deal. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Dropped by Barnes, picks it up, tags out Anderson, and that ends the inning. So Wheeland gets out of the jam. No runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 left. We'll go to the 7th. And the Dodgers lead the White Sox 2-0. Austin Barnes is the hitter. The ball upstairs and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. His first plate appearance of the day. Dan Jennings in his 2nd inning of relief. Left-hander pitching's outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, the White Sox are making some changes. We can hardly wait to tell you all about it. All right, might be an exaggeration. Barnes takes outside. 3 balls and no strikes. We're in the top of the 7th, and if you're not in the stadium, you can bring home the taste of the Dodgers' world-famous Chef Burrito loaded nachos by driving to Ralph's and buying Chef Burrito's Carne Asada season. On 3-0, Barnes takes a strike. 3-1. Dodgers with a run in the 1st and a run in the 6th. We begin the 7th. Jennings deals high and away, ball 4. Austin Barnes with a leadoff walk.
I know you like to have your scorebook up to date, and there are those that keep score even in spring training.
Oh yeah, so name one.
Onelki Garcia is taken over in center field, and Carlos Sanchez is playing at second base.
Okay. What can you tell us about either one?
They're here and they're playing.
Well, now the batter is Darnell Sweeney.
Actually, someone did send me a letter a number of years ago that said that it was a lady, it was a Dodger fan, that said that she kept score every game, and she missed something that happened.
Were you able to help her? You weren't keeping score.
Funny, it was actually in the post-game Dodger talk.
It was the great Phil Rizzu. God bless. He and Bill White for years were Yankee announcers. And one day, White didn't see whatever the play was, and he asked Scooter, "Well, how'd you score that?" Scooter says, "WW." WW, what's that? Wasn't watching. Darnell Sweeney takes inside and low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We, on the other hand, just leave it blank.
Darnell Sweeney, right-handed hitter. He's a very interesting young player. And he takes inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The times, the games that we have seen Sweeney play in, he has been interesting in the way that he's approached the game. Fundamentally, he has not really stood out as not accomplishing something.
On 2-2, he's a switch hitter batting for the right-hand side. Big swing, fouls it off to the left.
And every time we have seen him defensively, he has had a presence as well.
We saw him last year in spring, primarily playing in the infield. And he's at second base now, and he was in the outfield yesterday. Had a solid 288 at Chattanooga last year. 14 home runs, 57 runs batted. He's from Florida. Ground ball slowly hit to short, and it's booted by Anderson. So the Dodgers catch a break, first and second, nobody out.
Anderson did not take a straight route to the ball. He was trying to make it where he could go bare hand and make an easier play instead of taking another step to his right towards the third base bag and getting the ball a little bit more squared up on the body. And the other dimension that Sweeney adds is that he does put pressure on the infield because he possesses speed and he runs down that line very well.
So the Dodgers have first and second and nobody out. And Alex Guerrero coming up. Guerrero, of course, had a far more adventurous season last year than he or anybody else could have bargained for. But in between his time away, when inexplicably he and Miguel Olivo got into that thing. 329. First and second. Big swing, fouls it back, and it's 0-1.
Big question in baseball is you look at numbers at whatever level it may be. Are they numbers that also can be carried over to the next step, which is a huge step? That be to Major League Baseball. You can look at AA numbers till the cows come home. You can look at AAA numbers again till the rest of the cows come home. But does it translate? Can it carry over to the Major League level? And for Alex Guerrero, the times that we've seen him at the big league level, he's had difficulty with off-speed pitches because he starts the swing too soon, and at times he ties himself up with real good heat on the inside corner.
On 0-1, Guerrero swings and misses, and it's 0-2.
Adjustments. And some players are able to grasp that theory a little bit more rapidly than others.
No balls, 2 strikes. Top of the 7th, Dodgers with a 2-0 lead. Austin Barnes leading from second. Sweeney from first. Pitch in the dirt, blocked nicely by Gutierrez. A terrific play by Gutierrez. A, to keep the ball in front of him. And then B, with Austin Barnes kind of dancing off second base. Gutierrez made a good throw down to make a close play at second base.
Charlie, another thing about Guerrero, for those that are watching the simulcast on the television side, look at the angle of the bat over his shoulder. Now, it's not straight up and down. It's not vertical. It's back a little bit, so the barrel of the bat has to travel a longer distance to get to the strike zone.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Guerrero, right-handed hitter. Throwing a fly ball to center field. Sprinting on back. Bonifacio's there to make the catch. Tagging and going to third base is Barnes. Sweeney went halfway and retreated to first. So the Dodgers have first and third, 1 out. And here's Travis Witherspoon. At A-ball last year, 252, 15 home runs, and 44 runs batted in. Back with you tomorrow. Radio pregame at 11:30. First pitch at 5 afternoon. The simulcast will begin at noon as the Mariners will be here. David Huff and Erasmo Ramirez. Split squad for the Dodgers tomorrow. And a slow chopper to second base. Fielded by Sanchez. Steps on the bag. Throws to first. That will end the inning. The other half of the split squad for the Dodgers will be in Maryvale to face the Brewers. And Julio Urias will be going for the Dodgers tomorrow. 7th inning stretch here this afternoon. And the Dodgers have a 2-0 lead over the White Sox. MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected with live radio broadcasts, stats, breaking news, and much more. Download MLB.com at bat at the #1 app for live baseball. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. New pitcher for the Dodgers, Daniel Colon. Not a particularly large fella. 5'10", 190. Had a brief cup of coffee with the Dodgers last year. Spent most of the season at Rancho Cucamonga and Chattanooga. Made 5 appearances with the big club. Colon, lefty. Delivers a strike. 0-1 to Connor Gillespie.
Colon not overpowering. Good breaking ball. He gets command of that curveball. Is pretty good. Changeup has really helped him. In limited action, those 5 games we saw last year, he was not afraid to throw the ball.
Delivers a strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-2.
And some people may be wondering, what do you mean he's not afraid to throw the ball? Anybody can throw the ball. Well, there's something that happens sometimes. You get a young man that comes up, and Colon's out of Scottsdale. All of a sudden, you get, well, stage fright, if you will. Colon's not cocky, but he has confidence.
Here's the 0-2. Battle back and out of play.
And we have 3 more outs, so got me off, guys.
Get the jitters. When Colon came up, and we've seen some young Dodger fellas come, go in some cases, come in and just simply overwhelmed by it.
I think about Colombia, just talking to some of the coaches and players, very inquisitive. just didn't go sit in the bullpen and sit there and say, well, I wonder what they're going to call me. He's constantly picking your brains.
The 0-2 as a bouncer slowly hit to short. And play is made by Corey Seager.
And Seager made that play look a little bit easier than it was because he's got that short hop. Doesn't have a particularly great angle to come in and make it, but you start to look at hands. That's what they say in baseball. Look at the hands. Well, Seager goes down and gets it, and a clean transfer. Went down with a glove hand, got it, switched it right over to the bare hand, and makes the throw on the run.
And so the inevitable questions, because he's 6'4" and probably 210 now, and he's got some room to fill out. Well, is he going to be a shortstop? Is he going to have to move to third base? Well, time will tell on all of that. But let's not forget a fellow named Cal Ripken, big fella, played shortstop, and don't want to make any sort of comparisons other than the fact that he's a large fella, as Ripken was. And there have been other shortstops who stand 6'3", 6'4". And he certainly showed some quickness on that play.
Well, again, not throwing darts, he's moved on, but we're seeing more range from a guy 6'4" than what the Dodgers, quite frankly, have seen the last couple of years at short.
Hanley Ramirez is in Boston now. And a left fielder. But there was a fluidity in watching Seager make that play. George Gutierrez is the hitter, and a ground ball slowly hit to first. And sprinting to the bag first, having the range to the second base side, Kyle Jensen is able to make the play unassisted. There's 2 out. And now Juan Diaz is making his first plate appearance for the White Sox. At AAA last year, hit a dozen home runs and hit 278. Dodgers with a 2-0 lead. 2 out, bottom half of the 7th inning. So Colomb has retired the first 2 batters he's faced. And Diaz takes a knee buckling breaking ball for a strike, and it's 0-1. Colomb, as Mo mentioned, is not a physically imposing presence. But again, you watch him and you get a sense he's got an idea out there. This is just inside 1-1.
It's those guys that come on as immediately say, well, okay, he doesn't stand 6'3". He finds a way to work it out.
Born in St. Louis, lives in Scottsdale, a 20th round pick for the Dodgers in 2012. He's just 25 years of age. On 2-1, ground ball foul past Darrell Boston, the first base coach of the White Sox. 2-2.
Boston looks like he can still play.
Well, the Greg Gote kind of belies that, but physically he's still a presence. Colomb delivers a fastball down and away, a swing and a miss, and that ends the inning. Nothing across. We'll go to the 8th inning with the Dodgers up 2-0. Ranch in Glendale, Arizona. A picture-perfect 68 degrees. And Michael Inoa, who pitched at the A level for the White Sox last year. ERA of 5.5, a record of 4-2. Struck out 64, walked 21. And Scott Schebler is hitting for the Dodgers beginning the 8th inning. Jock Peterson today started, singled, scored a run, and bounced out. And Schebler bounced to second base in his first at-bat back in the 6th. Inoa is the 6th White Sox pitcher. And a slow roller up the first baseline. Inoa picks up, underhanded flip over to first base. Dan Black at the receiving end. That's the first out of the 8th.
Inoa just trying to stay healthy, and he gets the first man, as you mentioned, Schebler. But I found Inoa when he was 13. He was 6'4". He's 6'7". Signed with the A's, and at the time it was one of the largest international bonuses in the history of baseball. $4.25 million. But he has missed 2 solid years. Total missed them because of injuries.
Now Corey Seager is the batter. Big rip swing and a miss. 0-1. Seager walked in his first plate appearance in the 6th inning. He'll come around to score on an Okoye Dixon double down the left field corner. Seager takes inside and is 1-1. Dodgers 2 runs and 3 hits. The White Sox no runs and 3 hits. Just joining us, Kershaw great today. 2 innings, 20 pitches, 16 strikes, 3 strikeouts, and the White Sox couldn't get the ball out of the infield. Brandon League was solid. Hatcher impressive. Wheeland was solid. And Daniel Colon retired the White Sox in order in the 7th inning. Seager now 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. Here comes the 2-2 outside, 3-2. When you talk to scouts who are skeptical folks to begin with, they'll always, well, he can do this, he can do that, but he might be a little bit short. But when you listen to them talk about Corey Seager, they just open their eyes, and there's Seager again, taking outside, ball 4. So Seager has an idea, even in an exhibition game. He's not going to swing at pitches out of the zone.
No, the strike zone is the strike zone. It does not matter the month. Which, quite frankly, it's amazing that you have a young player who has amassed all of these numbers and power numbers on top of it, and yet he's selective and has shown, demonstrated that he does have very good recognition of his strike zone.
Well, Seager has been to the plate 4 times, twice yesterday, twice today. 3 walks and a single. So he's been on base all 4 times.
And just watching him at first base takes a somewhat liberal lead to begin with. I'm reminded of a story about knowing the strike zone. Is it the late great, the Hall of Famer Duke Snider? There was one year in spring training they said, look, why don't you take batting practice without a bat? They went, what? They had him step into the batting cage. Guy was throwing full.
Okay, Dixon takes outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
And Duke Snider was told to take about 25 or 30 pitches without a bat in his hand and call if it was a ball or a strike and where he thought the ball was in relation to the corners of the plate. And it was a learning process. Where is the strike zone?
2-0, Dixon. Fly ball well hit to center field. Drifting on back is Bonifacio. The play. Bonifacio is out of the game. And that is Lurie Garcia in center field who made the play. That's the 2nd out of the inning. But oftentimes, getting back to Seager for a minute, young guys are trying so hard to impress. They're going to swing from their heels and try and do too much. He's walked 3 times. He singled and scored a couple of runs. And all winter long, a lot of the fans were questioning the wisdom why the Dodgers would not trade Seager or Peterson or Urias. Dodgers stood firm on that. Again, here it is. It's just Thursday, March the 5th. We're a month away from opening day. But even just little samples of watching these guys work, you see why they stood as firm as they have. The top 10 prospects for the Dodgers, including Seager, Urias, by the way, pitching tomorrow. Peterson had a solid day today. Schebler and Sweeney are in the ball game now. Zach Lee, let's not forget about him. So the future appears to be bright. Here's the 0-1 outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's one thing that Stan Kasten, president of the Dodgers, said as soon as they took over, it was time to rebuild the foundation of the franchise from the bottom up, minor league system, to fortify. So they were not going to give away the prospects in search of perhaps short-term success. Long-term vision.
No, you don't force yourself to walk the tightrope in that free agent market all the time.
Here comes the 1-1. Foul back and out of play. Kyle Jensen is the batter. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 out. And you see what happens when you build with one free agent after another. Sooner or later, the bill comes due. Offer up the Phillies, the Yankees, who have had great runs, but there is very little from which to rebuild. Here's the 1-2. Jensen takes outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's a back end tax inevitably.
Well, the city of brotherly love is going to experience that now.
Oof. Yankees are too. Yankees have.
Well, the Yankees have a distraction away from wins and losses right now.
Here comes the 1-2 outside and low. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kyle Jensen.
Yeah, not only that, but he says you do the same thing over again.
Dodgers and Mariners back with you tomorrow. Well hit to right field. That's well hit. Way back, and it is gone. A home run for Kyle Jensen. He hit it the other way onto the berm to the left of the right field bullpen. A 2-run shot, and the Dodgers take a 4-0 lead.
Most impressive, big guy, we mentioned it earlier, that goes the opposite way, stays right on it. That trip around the diamond is sponsored by Daniels Jewelers, and for every Dodger home run, the Daniels Jewelers family donates to local children's charities. Over $500,000 raised over the last 4 seasons. Our good friends at Daniels Jewelers, making diamond dreams come true since 1948.
So Kyle Jensen, how do you do?
I mentioned he's a big guy, 6'3", 250 is listed.
And he was part of the treasure trove the Dodgers received from the Marlins in the Herron and Gordon deal.
27 home runs last year. That is his career high. And other years at Jacksonville hit 24, at Jupiter hit 22 in the Florida State League. That's pretty good power. I don't care what league it is.
He hit it the other way, and it went into overdrive. Pop up left side. Third baseman Matt Davidson is there to make the catch as Kirk Britton pops out. And that ends the inning. 2 runs, 1 hit. Jensen a home run the other way. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Dodgers now 4-0. Ryan Buckner, lefty. Dodgers have hit 2 home runs in the first 2 games of spring, both by youngsters. Okoye Dixon yesterday. Quite a wallop by Kyle Jensen. Right-handed hitter. Hit it over the wall on the way to Grandma's house and in right field. Buckner in AAA last year, 49 appearances, an ERA of 3 1/3. And opposing hitters hit just .229 against him. Struck out 63, walked 40 in 63 innings. So strikeout an inning. Left-hander deals. First pitch. Trace Thompson with a fly ball into right field. And Travis Witherspoon was there to make the catch. 1 pitch and 1 out. So yesterday was, while losing the game, and again, it doesn't really matter if you win or lose in spring. Dodgers played fundamentally sound. Peterson had a good day yesterday. Seager had a good day yesterday. Well, Seager's come back and had a good day today. Peterson's had a good day today. And that fellow named Kershaw had a Kershaw kind of day.
Yeah.
Brandon League was solid. So again, it's 2 games in, dress rehearsals. So far, so good. Only 29 more of these to go. There's a strike. Ball, 1 strike. Ryan Buckner. Buchter. From Eastern Pennsylvania. Now lives in Blackwood, New Jersey. Came from the Atlanta organization. He's 28. Minor league free agent signing over the way. Line drive right into the glove of Kyle Jensen. We've been mentioning his name quite a bit today. And there's 2 out.
Don't discount good outings or good performances earlier on. You know, players will say, hey, you don't want to leave it in Arizona, you don't want to leave it in Florida. But it is a big sight better to get off to a good start. Say that Kershaw had a good start is an understatement.
20 pitches, 16 strikes. 3 infield groundouts and 3 strikeouts.
For example, Bumgarner got roughed up in and out, right? Everybody made a big deal out of it. It's spring training. All you're trying to do is get a feel back on the mound or at home plate, get your timing.
Buckner delivers a strike, and it's 0-2 to Lurie Garcia. And the 0-2, Buckner deals a fastball up and away. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dodgers, of course, open with the Padres on April the 6th. It'll come back or easy play for Buckner. Underhanded toss to first base. And a 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Buckner. We'll go to the 9th. Dodgers 4-0. White Sox for the new pitcher.
Raul Fernandez.
He was at Double-A, actually A-ball in both Colorado and White Sox organization last year. Came over in a trade, and this is the first time we're laying eyes on him. Austin Barnes leads off for the Dodgers in the 9th. First pitch, fly ball, well struck to right center field, and it is tracked down by Lurie Garcia. First out of the 9th.
The thing that Garcia just kept going after it. He got practically no help at all from Witherspoon, the right fielder.
And here's Darnell Sweeney. Got a board on an error in the 7th inning. And Sweeney, switch hitter, batting from the left side. It's outside and low, 1 ball and no strikes. Sweeney at Chattanooga last year, 288. Line drive right into bobbled by the shortstop Anderson. The throw is not in time. The ball was smoked but should have been caught. And Sweeney is on board for the 2nd time thanks to 2 errors by Tim Anderson.
Anderson's had unique approaches to a couple of different plays now.
Well, that's a nice way of saying it wasn't so good. Unique. Alex Guerrero is the batter. Sweeney goes and is a base hit between short and third. Sweeney holds at second base. So Guerrero is aboard with a base hit, and the Dodgers have first and second with 1 out.
Yes, Guerrero, if he continues to just put the ball into play, make contact, make somebody run for it, field it, it's going to come down to interesting scenarios for the Dodgers, because they're going to have to be able to have the bench. We talked yesterday briefly about the fact that the bench last year, at least initially, was not nearly as deep talent-wise and maneuverability-wise as what it was in 2013.
Arizbel Arbarena is the hitter. No longer on the 40-man roster. Big swing and a miss. And it's 0-1. Arbarena cleared waivers, so he's still property of the Dodgers, but not on the 40-man. He certainly can field. And a ball outside and low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, we had a coaching clinic on the team bus in Philadelphia when Arbarena joined the club. Found out he joined the club and on the way to the stadium from the hotel, Jaime Jarrín and Pepe Enegas were giving us the pronunciation tips.
Pop up right side of the infield, short right field. Sanchez makes the catch. Infield fly rule, 2 out.
But we had to tell both gentlemen, wait a minute, slow down. We're not going to roll the R's like you guys.
The very first day Arbarena showed up about a year ago this time. Walks into Mattingly's office. Arizbel Arbarena did it with greater flourish than we do. And Mattingly had a somewhat perplexed look and he said, well, what do we call you? Arbarena mercifully said, Harry will do. On behalf of many play-by-play announcers around the country, Harry was just fine. So now there's 2 out. And Scott Schebler is the batter. Dodgers with a run in the 1st, a run in the 6th, and 2 in the 8th. A 2-run home run for Kyle Jensen. 4-0. First and second, 2 out, the 1-0. Schebler swings and misses. It's 1-1.
Very good changeup right there.
Schebler, left-handed batter with a bit of an uppercut swing. 1-1, first and second, 2 out in the ninth. It's low and it kicks off Gutierrez, goes to the backstop, and the runners advance. Sweeney to third, Guerrero to second. So Raul Fernandez. But all right, should have been out of the inning. But Tim Anderson, the shortstop, cuffed a line drive right into his glove. Should have been 2 out, nobody on. Barnes began the inning flying to center, then the error. Guerrero single to left, infield fly rule off the bat of Arabarena as Schebler swings and misses. It's 2-2. Split squad for the Dodgers tomorrow, here against the Mariners and there against the Brewers. Against the Brewers tomorrow, Julio Urias will be making his first start of the spring. Boy, everybody's talking about him. Here comes the 2-2. Schebler fouls it back and out of play. It was interesting reading a piece the other day about Kershaw watching Urias and all the attention being paid to the young left-hander. Of course, Clayton been there, done that. And certainly can advise young Mr. Urias on how to progress. Well struck to right center field, and that's going to go all the way to the wall. Scott Schebler continues to impress. He doubles home Sweeney and Guerrero. It's the Dodgers now with a 6-0 lead.
Compact swing, and you know when Schebler puts the ball into play, he can scamper. A short compact swing. He fouled off 2 or 3 pitches in the outside corner this time. Fernandez came back in on the inner third of the plate, and Schebler says, nope, that's not going to work.
There's a lot to like about Scott Schebler. And now Corey Seager gets a chance with a runner in scoring position.
You get a young player that can swing the bat, can play defense, and has some speed to go with it, and an awareness as he's checking the outfielders, their position right now. You get those combinations of abilities, it opens your eyes.
And a big swing and a miss by Seager, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. So Seager, 2 walks today, 2 runs scored, a walk and a base hit yesterday. Grounded slowly to second base. He'll get thrown out, and that'll end the inning as Carlos Sanchez retires Seager. And the Dodgers come up with a couple of runs, couple of hits, helped by an error, lead 6-0 as we go to the bottom of the ninth. And this afternoon's Chumash Casino Resort ninth inning jackpot contestant is Bob Barry, who's sitting pretty because of the Dodgers win. They have a 6-0 lead. Bob wins a free stay-and-play getaway at Chumash Casino Resort, located 2 hours north of LA in the Santa Barbara wine country. Bob will get a free night stay plus $100 in free slot play. Enter to win. Go to am570radio.com. First pitch, fly ball, center field, and it is a home run off the batter's eye. Courtney Hawkins with quite a shot off the new pitcher, Jeremy Kurt. There goes the shutout. The Dodger lead has been trimmed to 6-1.
Not the way to start off an inning. A fastball up in the strike zone and up and out of the ballpark.
So Jeremy Kurt, his first pitch. A Los Angeles Dodger uniform, leaves the yard in a hurry. The 1-0 now to Dan Black. He is inside. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Fastball up and away, 3 balls. Bad, no strikes. Kurt from Indiana delivers a fastball for a strike, and it's 3-1. Came up in the Red Sox organization, and Black with a fly ball into short left center field. And there to make the catch, Travis Witherspoon. Now Tim Anderson, who has had a defensive day to forget. A couple of errors.
Oh, it's early in spring. But his approach, the one ground ball and one line drive have been interesting.
Interesting. Unique. Shouldn't have done it that way.
No.
0-2 to Anderson. Kurt delivers. Grounded foul toward the Dodger dugout down the third baseline. So we'll do it all over again tomorrow. Pregame 11:30. First pitch at 5 afternoon. Simulcast begins at noon on the television side, and Anderson whacks a base hit into left field. One out single in the bottom of the ninth. Matt Davidson is coming up. All in all, a pretty good day for the Dodgers, beginning with Clayton Kershaw. 2 innings, 20 pitches, 16 strikes, 3 strikeouts, and the White Sox couldn't get the ball out of the infield. And his curveball was just magnificent today. Pitching's been solid. League Hatcher, Whelan, Cologne. Davidson hit under 200 at AAA last year. Kurt delivers a strike. Peterson, Seager done well. Jensen a 2-run home run. No balls and 2 strikes. Davidson takes high and away. Kurt overthrows that pitch. And it's 1-2. Outfield deep and straight away. Kurt delivers. Hard ground ball foul up the third base line.
Way to be eager.
There hasn't been a cloud in the sky all day. And by the weekend, temperatures are supposed to hit into the 80s here. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed, strike 3. That had the spin of a gyroscope. 2 out.
That breaking ball right there. For Kurt. First pitch again was hit for the home run, but it was a fastball that was up. Didn't really have a whole lot on it. But kind of settled down after the home run. Got the next man out, but then Anderson got the base hit.
And now the Dodgers are an out away from putting this game to bed. Gutierrez, the veteran journeyman catcher, takes a strike, 0-1.
He has been all over the place. Red Sox, Brewers, A's, Royals, Indians.
When he was with the Red Sox, the Dodgers were talking about picking up Gutierrez.
He also was with the Cardinals, the Blue Jays. He's Canadian.
Here's the 1-1 inside mode, 2-1. The Padres would eventually get Gutierrez if memory serves. And Boston's demanding James Loney or somebody like that. Dodgers told him to take a walk. Here's 2-1. Ground ball. Jensen's got it. Jogs to the bag, and that will end the ball game. So the White Sox come up with a run in the 9th, but the Dodgers hang on and win it by a score of 6-1. For the Dodgers, 6 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. For the White Sox, 1 run, 5 hits, and 2 errors. And we'll be back with you again tomorrow. Simulcast at high noon, first pitch 12:05, radio pregame at 11:30. So that's going to do it from Camelback Ranch in Glendale. For those of you who've been watching on Sportsnet LA, join us tomorrow at noon as the Dodgers take on the Seattle Mariners.